gets going, passions flowing, dreams start glowing. You best be ready, heartbeat steady, cause the air gets heavy. The game is here, no time for fear. Can you hear the cheers? Yeah.
Under the lights, baby. Under the lights.
Let's go.
This is Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by John Wayne Service Company.
Live from Dub Ferris Stadium, it's a new season of Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights. It's Churchill and Clark in one of the oldest and best rivalries in all of San Antonio. Good evening, everybody. I'm Don Harris along with Chuck McIntyre, and welcome back to another season of Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights. Churchill and Clark have been going at it for many, many years. It's been a pretty even rivalry over the years, but not for the last decade.
Don, I'm fired up. I'd chest bump you, but I'm afraid I'd break my ribs. But yeah, I mean, Clark pretty much had their way in this series the first 24 meetings, but it has been all Churchill since 2010. But there's a new man guiding the Clark Cougars this year. He's J.L. Geist. We'll get into him and more about him as the game goes on. But Cougs are hoping to change the fortunes obviously tonight.
Both of these teams have big guys in the trenches, and they're going to depend on their defensive front.
Yeah, no question about it. Talking to both coaches this week, they really like what they have along the defensive line. And for Churchill, this is the man right here, Eric Munoz, 6'3", 215 pounds. This young man was a second-team all-district performer a season ago. They've got a couple of other really big guys up front, and Churchill, these guys are going to want to be playing on the other side of the line of scrimmage tonight.
Also for the Clark Cougars, their big stud is a big guy.
Yeah, Big Ben Tannehill. He's their nose tackle. Super athletic, not only big, he's going to play some fullback. He's also petitioned the coaches to put him in on special teams. He's that kind of guy. And the coaches were saying during practice, this guy likes to catch balls with one hand. Kind of drives his coaching staff crazy, but great athlete along that Clark defensive front.
Looking forward to a new season. As always, Alex Garcia joins us with our Shelter Pro game time weather. Alex?
You got it. What a night for football tonight. You know, we had 100 degrees earlier. We're down to a cool 98. On the field, it's probably still about 150, but a little southeast wind here. That's cooling us off quite a bit, but it could throw off some of those passes if it gets a little stronger. But wow, what a night. Perfect night to get out here and enjoy yourself and watch football.
All right, thanks a lot, Alex. We've got a new member of the TNL team this year. Zach Hedrick's going to be down on the sidelines. Boomer Sooner, Zach.
Hey, Don and Chuck. Boomer Sooner to you two as well. Try not to let a little Sooner slant enter in here. But I tell you, I'm excited. The teams are excited as well. The energy was up throughout pregame warm-ups. Both coaches telling me today that they had a great prep week leading up to the Gucci Bowl here. And, of course, everybody's kind of focusing on that 9-game streak for Churchill so far. But both coaches are just kind of dismissing that at this point, especially Coach Geist. He's telling me it all boils down to one word: focus. Don, Chuck, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Zach. When we come back, we'll have our Taco Cabana's key to the game. We'll hear from both coaches, and we'll kick off the Gucci Bowl when we come back.
You're watching Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by John Wayne Service Company.
Welcome back to Dub Ferris Stadium for a new season of Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights. Right now it's time for our Taco Cabana keys to the game. And Chuck, Ron Harris looking for a 10-game winning streak tonight. What are the Chargers' keys?
Well, Don, as much as Churchill likes to run the football, the biggest key tonight is do not turn it over as much as you're going to be handling it, especially around the line of scrimmage. Secondly, make the Cougs, who've got a new defense and offense, earn everything. Then lastly, no self-inflicted wounds, no penalties. Got to play clean on both sides of the ball.
Chargers have been dominant 9 straight. So what about that streak?
The biggest thing I try to tell our kids is I don't care about any streak. You shouldn't care about any streak because the only game that matters is this one tonight, okay? 9-0. That's 9 different football teams. You're this football team. And that's the same for them across the other sideline there, too. You know, these kids that are playing for Clark tonight, they weren't any part of that other 9 either. So it's about this one and this one only.
J.L. Geist is the brand new head coach in Clark, Texas. He's planning on turning this program around, Chuck, and starts tonight. What are his keys?
Yeah, it starts with protecting the football, Don, and then also they really like the depth they have at defensive line, so I want to see those guys play on the other end of the line of scrimmage there. And then lastly, got to trust the process. New coaching staff, you've got a new offense, a new defense, and you know you're going to have to build your house one brick at a time.
And it's all about that game one preparation.
We had a good week. We had a really good week. Monday was a tough day because it was so hot, but our kids have gotten used to that. They pushed through it, powered through it. Tuesday was a great practice. I was really pleased with the effort and the energy by the kids. They're excited about the game, obviously. They're ready to get rolling. They're tired of practice and ready to play, you know, and they had a good week, so I feel really good about the preparation going in.
Clark is ready. Churchill is ready. We're ready. When we come back, we'll have our national anthem, and we will kick things off on a new season of high school football in San Antonio.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by Associated Collision Center, serving San Antonio since 1976.
Welcome back. Coach Ron Harris ready to kick off a new season. Churchill coach looking, as we said, for a 10th straight win over that squad right there. And as you see, the hands are over the hearts. It's time to turn it over to our public address announcer, Calvin Buckholtz, and get this thing underway.
Now entering the field is the color guard from the 793rd Air Force Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps of Tom C. Clark High School. The members include the commander, and the United States flag bearer is Cadet Second Lieutenant Maritza Reyna. The United States flag guard is Cadet Major Malku Garnica. The Texas flag bearer is Cadet Major Kylie Westmoreland. The Air Force flag bearer is Cadet Lieutenant Colonel Alexandria Ruckstuhl. The Air Force Junior ROTC flag bearer is Cadet Colonel Romaza Ansari. The Clark High School flag bearer is Cadet Major Esmeralda Hernandez. And the Clark flag guard is Cadet Major Nathan Bonias Ruiz. If you have not already done so, please rise and remove your hats to honor America, along with the men and women who have served and are serving in our United States Armed Forces throughout the world. The national anthem for tonight's game will be performed by the combined Churchill and Clark choirs under the direction of Brooke Holyoke and Megan Iden.
Stars
Thanks for watching the Thursday Night Lights pregame show. Stay tuned for tonight's first half kickoff.
It's Churchill, it's Clark, it's the Gucci Bowl. We're ready to get this thing underway. Tonight's first half kickoff is sponsored by the San Antonio Police Department. Visit sapdcareers.com. Ron Harris, his squad ready. This is what you get ready for all season long. In the off season, the two-a-days, Churchill will kick off. And Clark will have it first. This one fielded at about the 10-yard line. Moving to the middle of the field and breaking tackles and getting all the way down to the 35-yard line. And the Cougars will have it first.
Nice run there by Jordan Campbell to get this thing going. 2019 high school football season is underway.
David Santos is quarterbacking the Cougars. Had a couple of snaps last year, was 14 of 22, threw a touchdown pass, but a very inexperienced, really offense and defense for both teams. Clark returning only 8 returning starters, 3 on offense, 5 on defense. And Santos, you know, there's going to be a little bit of nerves in week 1 for everybody out there.
Yeah, coach was telling us, good kid, tough kid, good runner, and we'll talk about David Santos as the night goes on. You can imagine this guy's getting his first varsity snaps or at least extended play. He's having to do so with a new coaching staff and a new offense.
And already we've got to delay a game as first game operations mess up a little bit, getting the play in and getting ready to go.
Anyway, this young man's got a really good arm. He's accurate and a leader. Coach Geis put together a leadership council, and not only was David elected to that, he got elected team captain too, so that'll tell you what the rest of the fellas think of that young man.
There's J.L. Geist. Turns and hands for a running play on the first play of the game, and breaking it for a first down is Corey Govan. That's a Gold's Gym first down and a very impressive run by Govan.
Yeah, a little trap blocking up front, and the next thing you know, Govan is into the second and third levels of the defense. Good start for the Cougs.
Right at midfield, new set of downs. Coach said Govan will get a majority of the carries tonight as the Clark offense splits 3 wide. Govan comes in motion. They fake it to him. Santos keeps and now completes it to Kai McCarty, and he's near the sticks. I believe he's just short. Taking a look at the Clark offensive starters, you got Santos and Govan you've already seen. Joshua Cervantes is a threat at receiver, and they're led up front by big Matthew Ayala. Sets up second down and 1. Govan in the backfield with Santos. A little bit of movement. Govan breaks another one, trying to get outside. He's met and brought down. Chargers defense coming up big there with a nice hit by Fabio Perry.
A really good pursuit by the second line of defense for Churchill. Govan really making a whole lot out of nothing right there. Good stutter step and go.
Talked about that defensive front. Braden Gill up front, a good one for Churchill. I mean, in the secondary. First down and long. Here's Govan again, and that time he's going nowhere. As big Ben Miazga makes the tackle.
Big Ben is right. Just a junior, and what a load, pushing 2.5 bills. Not just a big guy, he saw the quick feet there. And again, we talked about this at the onset. Both of these teams were going to rely heavily on their defensive lines, especially in the early part of their season. Got a lot of depth, both of these schools do, along the D front.
Second down and about 13 for Santos. surveys the defense and keeps right up the middle. He's got a little bit of a crease, and Churchill does a nice job of closing it quickly. Aiden Cabrera in on the tackle.
We've already seen a couple of runs there by the Clark Cougars at the quarterback position, and talking to Coach Geist, he said what we really tried to do with Santos was really shield him from a lot of the hits in the two scrimmages. They really didn't want to show anybody too much to start the season, but already you can see that Mr. Santos is going to have his hands on the ball a lot, whether it's through the air or on the ground.
Joshua Cervantes split left. Santos looks that way, throws back this way, and it's going nowhere, although doing a nice job of breaking tackles for the Cougars is number 41, Nikos Vareas.
Well, you're not kidding, Don, because clearly Churchill sniffed this out. Aiden Cabrera and Fabrizio Peri both doing a really nice job smelling that out. Just couldn't wrap him up.
Cougars are going to go for it here on 4th and 7. Kind of in no man's land right at the 35-yard line. Now they're changing the play. Geist staff will call it in to Santos.
Looks like Churchill's going to bring the house, too.
Chargers showing blitz, and they do come. Santos one-on-one coverage to the corner, and that ball is picked off. Nice job by Gavin Castro. He was a first-team all-district unanimous choice last year with 3 interceptions, and he comes up with an Oski on the first series of the season.
Yeah, the only thing that is going to hurt here is just the loss of field position, but you can't deny the young man trying to go for a football here in week 1. Makes a really good adjustment to the ball. Can't say enough good things about having inside leverage on the receiver. It was quicker to make the reaction there and then make a play on the football.
Yeah, at the end of the season, his stats, that's just going to show up. He's not going. No one's going to remember the field position. he wants the pick. He wants his name in the paper.
Kind of hard to tell a player not to make a play when he can make one.
Exactly. All right, so Churchill will take over, and we'll get a good look at Corson Hastings. Also new to the starting lineup this year.
Yeah, played a little bit as a sophomore and a junior as a backup, but very intelligent and recognizes fronts and coverages as well as anybody.
He hands, and breaking it free for a nice pickup for Churchill is number 17, Dominic Tellis.
Oh, you're not kidding, because that's another play that didn't look like it was going to go anywhere, but left foot in the ground, and then people aren't getting low enough on him, and 17's got himself a really nice pickup on first down.
That's a Gold's Gym first down for the Chargers, who get it across the 20 with just one play. Split out 2 receivers to the right. Michael Wade is an experienced returner. Brandon Gill also out there to the right-hand side. They'll fire it out there. It's completed to Gill. And Clark's defense all over that. The Cougars had that one going nowhere.
A really good job in the open field. You get one-on-one with a wide receiver. That's sometimes really tough to bring a guy down, but Pierce Stratton equal to the task, the junior DB.
Sets up 2nd down and 8 for the Chargers. Early in the first quarter here at Ferris Stadium. Happy to kick off a new season as Churchill bunches it up tight in this formation. 3 backs back there with Hastings, who may be changing the call at the line of scrimmage. There's another carry right up the middle, good for a couple of yards. So we take a look at the Chargers' offensive starters again. Churchill's only got 6 coming back on the entire squad, just 2 on offense. Michael Wade, number 7 in the middle of that graphic, the returning wide receiver. And again, Tellis will get most of the carries at tailback, but look out for Isaac Alamon, the fullback who wears number 8, big strong runner in the interior.
Yeah, they like to run the ball at Churchill. They changed the offense a couple of years ago to fit their personnel, so we're going to see quite a few guys get touches.
Little jet sweep coming this way as Gill breaks a tackle, spins near the 30. He's short of a first down. And we may have no penalty flags. We take a look at that Clark defense. Again, Chuck talking about Big Ben Tannehill, number 10, going 200 270 pounds. And they've got athletes as well. Ethan Reed back there in the secondary is one to be dealt with. Jeremy Gutierrez back to receive the punt from Christian Smith. It's an end-over-ender. Takes a Churchill bounce and nice hop for the Chargers. That one's going inside the 20 and may end up at about the 13-yard line. So a nice punt by Smith. When we come back, the Clark Cougars will try and move the football. Both offenses combining for, that's a 57-yard punt. Thanks, Mark Kusenberger. We're coming back with Clark with the football when we come back.
Welcome back. Still no score here at the Gucci Bowl with 6 minutes left in the first quarter. Want to introduce a couple of special guests here, our title sponsors for Thursday Night Lights this season. Along with me, Samantha Morquecho and Mike Vela. Samantha, I understand we got Labor Day coming up here pretty soon. Tell us, got some special deals going on.
Yes, we do. We do. We actually have 3 different specials going on. The first is we're extending our happy hour, which is every day 4 to 7. But for this weekend, we're going to extend it all day. So that starts tomorrow to Monday. We also have a special dollar menu that we're rolling out where you could get special dollar tacos, you could get dollar shots and dollar beer. That starts also tomorrow through Monday. And lastly, we have free delivery on online orders. That starts Saturday through Monday. So go out and get what our special deals. They're awesome and they're here for only the weekend.
So maybe not everybody wants to leave poolside or something like that. So Taco Cabana can come straight to you, and that's Mike's department with the catering. Mike, tell us about how you can get your party started with Taco Cabana Catering.
For sure, but first off, we're glad to be back as a title sponsor this year. We enjoy the football season, but for sure, you know, like Samantha said, starting this weekend, we got free delivery Saturday through Monday, so take advantage of it. If you don't want to leave your couch, order in and we'll deliver to you, okay? We're revamping our catering department, so within September 19th, we're going to go live with all San Antonio with new catering hubs and all kinds of tailgate party package, so take advantage of it and go to tacocabana.com and get it going.
Mike, Samantha, thanks for you brought boxes. Don't tease me with empty boxes, did y'all? There's a look at that. There it is. All right. That's for all the guys in the truck and the crew.
We all need to share.
We might run some up to you and Don, but you guys are working.
Zach, obviously you're new. Those go straight to the press box.
Right. Chuck, back to you guys.
Thanks, Zach. Santos running for his life, buying time, and now is going to keep it across the 20, almost to the 25-yard line.
Well, he picked up the first down.
He sure did. Looking at the spot, he's got it by a full yard and a Gold's Gym first down and a new set of plays for a very poised quarterback who hasn't had a lot of experience.
Yeah, I mean, that was a really great play design on first down they couldn't hit on, and then really nice job deking the defenders right there and picking up that last bit of yardage to move the sticks. Little head and shoulder bob.
Already with J.L. Geis, we're seeing a new wrinkle in the Clark offense.
Yeah, they're going to be multiple. They're going to do a lot of different things. But again, it's just going to take some time to work it all out.
Little jet sweep coming this way. Joshua Cervantes picks up maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, not much more than that because big Jagger Collins is over there. It's one of the many guys we're going to be seeing on both sides of the ball. You know, it's been a while since you've seen Clark and Churchill having so many kids, so many athletes playing on both sides, but that's what both of these coaches recognize they have to do in order to keep the best guys out on the field. Collins is one of them.
Second down and 10 for the Cougars. Ball on their own 24-yard line. Santos fakes and now fires over the middle. Got a man. It's caught. It's another Gold's Gym first down as Cameron Bell got open, and he's a big target.
Cameron Bell really is. You know, a lot of experience as a blocker, and he's also playing some D-line for the Cougs, but the one thing Coach Geis told us, great hands. They're going to flex him out some too, but really a nice job there between quarterback and receiver. Cougs are on the move after being backed up in a hole.
Tell you what, the game has really slowed down for Santos. He looks very poised and composed back there. The senior again who didn't play a lot of snaps last year, only threw 22 times as a junior. But I'll tell you what, he is running this offense with supreme confidence. Fires complete to the outside. That one's caught by Kai McCarty, and it's another gain of about 5. And David Santos, subject of our U.S. Army player profile, and there's a reason he's poised. He plays a little basketball and track as well, volunteers at the food bank, enjoys fishing and hiking, and has plans to study engineering at the next level. So very bright young man.
Yeah, you can imagine. I mean, you're Coach Geis, you're coming into a new program, you're trying to figure out what you have, and what does that say? You know, you're coming into a new gig here at Clark, Texas, and you hand this guy the keys to the car. So obviously there was some trust built early, and I think David Santos has been equal to the task to this point.
12 men on the field, on the offense. Second down.
Robert Cossey, our official tonight, our referee.
Well, Coach Geis, man, he's no stranger to coaching, even though this is his first year at Clark. 31st year overall, started his career in the Houston area. Middle school coach, kind of worked his way through the ranks in the Spring District, and then 01 moved to the Austin area. Been a 3-year head coach and done really good things at Fort Bend Dulles before coming to Clark.
Oh, what penetration by the Chargers up front. Aiden Cabrera blew that thing up.
Yeah, little run blitz action right there. Clark trying to catch the Churchill defensive line napping. Those guys weren't having any of it. A lot of hats to the football there, and it's put Clark in a pretty big hole here on 3rd down.
3rd down and 13 as we take a look at our Go Public Smile Can, highlighting all the great fans. Go Public, new sponsor to TNL this year. A lot of smiles in a 0-0 game. 3rd down and 13. Santos, in definitely a passing situation, rolls out, buys time, dances out of bounds after a gain of about 2, and so it'll be 4th and about 11.
Churchill.
And
I'm sorry, Don, didn't mean to cut you
No
off
worries.
there. It was just nowhere to go with the football. Santos, figuring discretion is the better part of valor, had to elude 2 guys out there on the edge. Was able to at least turn it upfield and get a yard out of it, but obviously well short of the 1st down.
all right, so Michael Wade is back to receive the punt from Ruben Pena. A low hopper, he gets it off, and it's going to take a bounce and pop right into the arms of Wade. Trying to get outside, does, gets a block, gets another, has a big gain and cuts it back across the 50, but we've got multiple penalty flags down, and that one's probably coming back.
Well, you know what that usually is, right?
Block in the back, illegal block, block below the waist, holding, take your pick.
Block in the back. On the receiving team, that's a 10-yard penalty, 1st down.
All right. When we come back, the Chargers will have the ball. It's 0-0 here at Ferris Stadium. Welcome to a new season of football. It's fun, isn't it? We're coming back right after this.
Still no score here, a little more than 2 minutes left in the first quarter. 0-0 if you're watching a soccer game. Special guest with us here, Mr. Don Rackler with John Wayne. And Mr. Rackler, thanks for joining us here. Great night for football. It's a little bit cooler. Don't have to turn on the AC as much.
It's good to be in the shade, that's for sure. But more pleasure to be here.
Don, just talk John Wayne's involvement this year. You're going to be handing out some extra special gear for the player of the game and everything like that. Tell us about that a little bit.
Okay, well, every night there's going to be a players of the games. Don will pick some of them, and other players will pick the players of the game. On Sunday night, we're going to have the top 3. That will be the player of the week. And then every school that has a student that's in the player of the week, they will get to go and vote at johnwayne.com. And you vote for the player of the week, and the ones who get the most points becomes the John Wayne player of the week.
Very neat. And then is that going to proceed, those players of the week then proceed on to maybe something at the end of the year?
Well, there could be a John Wayne player of the year, but we also, for every person that participates, are going to be entered into our John Wayne $10,000 home makeover. So if you just by playing, you get a chance to win a $10,000 John Wayne makeover. but that's how the game's going to be played.
We got a lot of great teams on the schedule this year. Another added incentive for the player of the game. The headwear you're sporting right now, show that off a little bit and tell us what's going to be special this year.
Yes, every one of the players will get a John Wayne Player of the Game hat, and then we'll have the one who wins the John Wayne Player of the Week. They'll have a hat with their name on it. They'll have a plaque that we'll present to them and their coach, and that happens every week on Thursday nights.
Bragging rights for all the guys on the team, huh?
Absolutely. Yes, right.
Don, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate you being here.
My pleasure.
Don, Chuck's back up to you in the booth.
All right, we appreciate John Wayne and Don Rackley. It's going to be a cool season for all those kids with those Player of the Game and Player of the Week nominees. Taking a timeout, we'll take it with them. We'll come back. Welcome back. We've got $1:35 left in the first quarter here at Ferris Stadium. Scoreless here in the 36th regular season edition of the Gucci Bowl, and it's time now for the San Antonio Sports All-Star Cheer Challenge announcement. Powered by CPS Energy, it's underway already. You can register your squad to win a $1,000 or $500 cash grant and to cheer at the All-America Bowl or the San Antonio Sports All-Star football game in the Alamo Dome on January the 4th. Just visit the CW35.com to vote. And after a timeout, we've got
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, first down.
After the
as I
penalty.
was saying,
Well, that's going to drive Coach Harris nuts. I mean, he just called a timeout. He wanted a hard reset over what they were doing, and then first play coming back, he picked up another 5-yard penalty. So Coach Harris was telling us he's got a lot of unknowns with his team, maybe more than he's ever had with so many new faces.
inside handoff is going to Michael Doty. And the sophomore with a nice gain.
Sure was. Good, tough inside running right there between the tackles. And it's a good way to get that 5 yards back on the first snap.
Not good news for Clark. We told you at the outset about Big Ben Tannehill at 270 pounds, and he's limping off. Looks like he's going to be okay, but may have tweaked something there. And they're going to take a little injury look at him. And we'll be back in 30 seconds.
Airport parking has never been this easy. Whether you use one of our 2 economy lots with free shuttle service, our long-term or short-term parking garage, or if you're a member of our guaranteed parking program, airport parking has never been this easy. Take advantage of our Park Assist app and know the availability of parking spaces before you leave home. Fly easier, fly San Antonio.
Chuck, we've been doing this a few years now, and it never fails. Week 1, just always a little sloppy with lining up and getting things executed, and it's not really a surprise. It happens to everybody.
Well, you know, what's interesting about what's going on at Churchill this year is that last year, 8 of their 9 offensive linemen on the roster were seniors. They literally have no experience up front. All these guys are new, so, you know, for everything, there's a first time.
Despite the sticks going backwards because of penalties, they're getting some tough running. Isaac Alaman on the carry there, and he again does a pretty good job of getting 4 or 5. The problem is every time they get 5, they go back 5 on a penalty.
Yeah, you know, I think what's been interesting watching these Churchill kids play up front, we talked about the inexperience, but they're getting some nice push here on a lot of these runs.
You saw a look at our iDream SA band cam, more from the bands coming up at halftime. 3rd down and 9 for Churchill as Hastings drops back and fires, and he's got a man caught for a first down. And that's completed to big number 36, Christian Smith.
And of course, in Hastings, going to the Aaron Rodgers School of Quarterbacking, sometimes just a little feet action, moving a little to your left or right, can create all kinds of daylight in a passing lane for yourself. And Orson Hastings looking really nice on that throw on 3rd down.
So the Chargers are on the move as we come to the end of the first quarter. When we come back, Churchill will have it and try to get on the board. It's 0-0 here at the Gucci Bowl. Welcome back, Ferris Stadium. Pretty clear night. Some storm clouds off in the distance. It's been a stormy start for both teams trying to execute as we've had some false starts and some penalties. And right now, the chain gang having their issues. And Chuck, I'll go back to this, especially in the NFL. When are we going to come up with a better system to measure first downs with all the advances in lasers and technologies and yellow lines? We're still at the mercy of a couple of links of chain.
Hey, about the same time that baseball has the
no
automatic strike zone.
Let's head down to the sidelines and Zach Hedrick. Zach?
Right before, hey guys, you just saw right before the end of the quarter, Big Ben Tannehill going down with a foot injury. Trainers were over here looking at him. It was his left ankle that looked like it was giving him trouble, but he took a little jog about 15 yards down and back, and he's back up on the sideline right now. Looks like he's ready to go back in.
You know, Don, I was talking to Coach Geis this week. He said the best thing about tonight's game with the TV timeouts, guys like Ben Tannehill get to take an extra breather. He was really looking forward to that because he's got so many two-way guys going tonight. Churchill does too. So, you know, a lot of that's going to be an adjustment for these cats.
The chain gang helping him out too.
Yeah, a little added bonus.
New set of downs, first down and 10 for Churchill as they hand off inside to Michael Doty. Again, he's the sophomore and he stood up by the interior part of that Clark Cougar defensive front.
Yeah, I didn't see who got him first, but there were a whole host of Cougs getting a hat on the action right there.
Looked like that was 9-on-9 crime.
Yeah.
Pierce Stratton the first there.
Cameron Bell et al. Let's see, 88. Now he went up the field. Oh, look at that. A little linebacker action coming in. That's Ethan Ratefield. Actually, Ethan might have been playing up. Ethan just a sophomore, but a lot of good athletes in that family, I can tell you that.
Breaking it free is Doty, the sophomore, on his way. One man to beat, and he's tripped up right at the 5-yard line. I think Churchill's found a guy for the future here.
Well, we talked about how many running backs that they use at Churchill. This is what they hang their hats on, the ability to run. And Doty, speed, and speed to burn. A little bit of a hybrid of the other two running backs that they have on this squad, Aleman and Tellis. As you're seeing, this young man's a sophomore. Not looking much like an underclassman on that one.
How about the speed of 88 to get there? Oh, my goodness. Inside the red zone and inside the end zone for a touchdown is number 17 for the Chargers. That's Dominic Tellis. Touchdown, Churchill.
Another underclassman as we're getting to see all these running backs do their thing. Churchill broke out this run game a couple of years ago, and you know, it's kind of interesting how Coach Harris has adapted to fit the skill level of his players. He knows he's got good running backs, and he's taking full advantage. Cougs with the pursuit, but not able to stop 17 from getting the first points of the new season.
Tellis hits the touchdown. The extra point is good, and Churchill leads it 7-0 here early in the second quarter. Clark will have the football when we come back. Yeah, 5 yards.
7-0 Churchill with 10:52 left to go in the first half. Joined by some more special guests here with us, Mr. Russ Bookbinder, President and CEO of San Antonio Sports, and Sam McCrary with Methodist Sports Medicine. Russ, I want to visit with you first, just real quickly. We got a Northside school here tonight in Clark, but there's a special piece of literature that is, I guess, goes through. Tell us Beyond the Game a little bit.
Well, Beyond the Game is a program that San Antonio Sports and Methodist have put together to recognize high school teams and middle school teams who go beyond the field. They do public service, they do community events. We recognize them. They air in the halftime of the TNL games on CW, and then St. Clair's done a great job of spreading that message throughout the different broadcasts during the week. So if people want to nominate teams, go to sanantoniosports.org/beyondthegame. So we appreciate it very much.
All right, Russ, thanks very much. And Sam, I want to ask you as well, what's Methodist involvement with Beyond the Game?
Well, with the Methodist mission to serve humanity, to honor God, and with the largest sports medicine program in the region, we really strive to encourage our students and student athletes to serve in the community. And with that, you have Beyond the Game, which shines a spotlight on all those students that serve others. And so that's really what has driven Methodist involvement with Beyond the Game.
Well, it sounds like so far, I know you haven't seen them yet, but we got a couple of scholar athletes tonight. I've visited with a few of them so far this season. Really special folks. It sounds like they've kind of read some of that literature already and what's Beyond the Game, giving back to the community.
We have a lot of teams that are interested in getting involved, so we look forward to recognizing them.
Well, guys, send it back to you in the booth.
All right, thanks a lot, Zach. Santos running for his life, gets out of bounds just short of the 40-yard line, as Clark will try and tie this thing up here in the second quarter. Chuck and I really enjoyed the Beyond the Game. Russ Bookbinder's father-in-law is the legendary Grant Taft, who has really instituted that on a nationwide level, and Stan Lang here at Northside, one of the leaders in San Antonio of implementing it. We've seen it in our 4 or 5 years here recently, trickling down to the middle school level, to the high school level. You're having proms, and you're getting all the kids from all the different groups inspired to do community service, and it's just a wonderful thing for our community.
How about that inside running right there?
Nice carry by Corey Govan, who has had the lion's share of the rushing success for Clark so far.
Well, you're right about the Beyond the Game, though. I mean, it's so cool to see these young men go to the elementary schools and visit with the kids, or help them with the carpooling or reading to them. I mean, it's just really special that all these schools and all these players and coaches have embraced this.
Govan tracked down from behind. Churchill showing some speed there as Jagger Collins makes the tackle from the backside.
Now, we talked about the Churchill defensive line and how special these guys are. Munoz is a returner. We talked about him at the top. Miazga's already made some plays, and Jagger Collins played tight end last year in all 11 games. He might play some in certain packages tonight, but this kid's super athletic and really making the most of his time along that defensive front.
Second down and 12 as Santos rolls, looking for a receiver. Again, does a nice job of faking out the defense with his eyes. Not going to get a first down, but he picks up some yardage. They'll have a manageable third down.
Yeah, he got some blocking here at the end to kind of keep hope alive because he was running for his life. See, you got one block right there, and then you got another block here right there. But, Don, his wide receivers have got to move and scramble and go try to find some open territory. I mean, he's looking downfield, keeping the play alive. The receivers have got to help him out and do the same thing.
I still really like just how calm he is and doesn't panic. Little motion up front for Clark, no flag, and Santos picks up a couple, be short of a first down. It'll be 4th and about 4, and Clark will send out the punting unit.
Yeah, you get a chance here to tilt the field a little bit. You really like what your defensive line's all about, although they got gashed on that last drive. A chance to, if you can force a 3 and out, get the ball back and have really good field position to start the next drive.
So Ruben Pena back to punt. Braden Gill back to return for the Chargers. Nice kick end over end and fair caught right at the 10-yard line. So Churchill will have to go 90 when we come back. Churchill leads at 7-0 here in the 36th regular season edition of the Gucci Bowl, trying to make it 10 in a row for the Chargers. Beautiful sunset in the horizon. The Cougars fired up. His squad trying to get back in this ball game. Take a look at our All-Star Cheer Challenge. Register your cheer squad. We told you how it works. First place gets $1,000. Second place, $500. 4 squads will cheer in the Alamo Dome in January. And Churchill's got another break loose run, and it's Tellis across the 30 to the 32-yard line. And I'll tell you what, Churchill's already shown us a couple of different backs with some major speed.
Well, you got all kinds of blocking out in front and then just some really good reads, and all of a sudden, if you're the Cougs, you got to put some more guys in the box, because all of a sudden, this Churchill running game has become a plow horse.
27 yards on that pickup, sets up another first down. Hastings fakes, rolls, fires, has Wade, and Wade just couldn't hang on. Turned his head at the last second to see about 50 yards in front of him for a touchdown and just couldn't quite hang on to it.
You know, both of these teams have had their opportunities in the passing game early on, but quite frankly, quarterback had his choice on that one. He had a player deep, but decided to take the safer throw because there wasn't anybody within 12 yards of that reception if it could have been made.
All goes back to fundamentals. Got to look it in before you take off. Sets up 2nd and 10. Bunch formation here for Churchill. Hastings with a little toss sweep. And breaking another, keeping his balance again is Tellis, who already has a touchdown tonight, and now he's got another first down for the Chargers.
Churchill doing a really good job, especially on the right side of that offensive line. You got a little block down low, and then 17 doing an outstanding job keeping his feet. Somebody tried to knock him off.
Another Gold's Gym first down for the Chargers, who moved the ball closer to the middle of the field. Wade bunched in the slot. And it's a reverse. And Gavin Castro's got some space. He's going to pick up a block from his quarterback. Goes across the 40 of Clark before he's knocked out of bounds, but another big-time pickup for the Chargers. Another Gold's Gym first down, and all of a sudden, Churchill's feeling the groove.
Well, you know what happens, Don. You start being able to run the football as well as they have these last 2 series, and pretty much everything starts to open up because Clark is keying on the run. All of a sudden, you get some misdirection stuff. You throw the ball downfield, and right now, the world is Churchill's oyster with this football.
Whistle blows, and we're going to have a little discussion over the spot. I think the line judge thought that there was motion, but instead it was no. Let's listen in. All right, no penalty. And we'll just go back to play.
Yeah, it's not helping Clark either, with 2 of their bigger D linemen, Cameron Bell and Tannehill, both sitting on the sideline.
Good interior D from the Cougars up front. Alamon with nowhere to go. Big number 70, Raiden Davila, up there getting the job done as we have another Army player profile. Taking a look at junior Terrence Janikowski. Again, he's involved in multiple extracurricular activities. Also involved in the school recycling program. And he's looking to attend Baylor, Texas, or West Point. Also a wrestler and enjoys playing video games.
6'5", so it's a rangy young man.
2nd and 9, and the Chargers get Clark to jump off sides.
Unfortunately, a lot of that 6'5" just went across the other end of the line of scrimmage there.
As if he knew we were talking.
They really like some of these guys they've got on that D-line, though. Jankowski and Cameron Bell. You go right down the list. Davila, see some of him tonight. These guys need to bow it up, though, right now, because Churchill's looking pretty good on these last 2 drives, aren't they?
Absolutely, moving the football in the running game. Hastings wants to throw this time. Can't find a receiver, tries to scramble back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up a half a yard. That'll set up third down for the Chargers and about 3.5. 4 yards for a first down.
Yeah, we're just talking about Jankowski. Did a really good job disrupting the flow of that play. He was the first one in the backfield. Good job there wrapping up in the back end.
Jarrett Smith also got there. Going to be interesting to see what happens here at this kind of field position if it's 2 down territory here for Churchill. Their kicker,
believe so, right?
Yeah, Angelo Del Cid had 3 field goals a year ago, all inside 30 yards. Hastings running, got a man wide open. Decides not to throw it, keeps it, gets back inside the 30. Jarrett Smith running him down. Just a little bit, needed to get rid of that a little bit earlier, and he had a touchdown.
Well, he almost had a first down, too, if not for the speed of Smith. Really good job tracking and then sacking. Oh, he did pick it up. Apologies.
Well,
why throw it when you can run it, right?
Maybe the sticks were offset again. Looked like he was about 4 yards short. 1st and 10 for the Chargers. It's week 1 for everybody, and now we got a timeout taken by Ron Harris and Churchill.
Timeout, Churchill.
And we'll be back in 30 seconds.
At San Antonio International Airport, we don't just make flying easier, we make it an experience. Take advantage of the galleries at SAT or SAT Live, where we feature local San Antonio artists and performers to enhance your traveling experience. We have nursing stations, pet relief stations, and of course our world famous ambassadors, all here to make your traveling experience better. Fly easier, fly San Antonio.
We're back, 1st and 10 for the Chargers inside the 30-yard line. 5:10 to go here in the second quarter. Churchill with the lead. And Ron Harris wanted to talk it over as you take a look at our Go Public Smile Cam. Gucci Bowl shirts are out. Long time tradition dating back to 1984. And again, back in those days, all the way through the last decade or so, pretty balanced rivalry, and that's what made it so heated over the years. Neighbors going at it back and forth.
Yeah, the battle for bidders, as we like to call it.
Hastings, again to Doty, the sophomore, and he stood up with nowhere to go. And again, Clark's interior front doing a nice job. Ted Rodriguez had 39 tackles a year ago, and he's one of those few experienced guys for Clark, and pays off right here, fighting off a block and
fighting off
wrapping
a block
him up.
and fighting off a hole. That's one heck of a play there, 99. Still making a play.
2nd and 10. All of a sudden, Clark's figured out how to stop that running game in the short term. Tellis in motion. They hand to him, and he's going nowhere again. Slung down for another loss. And again, this time it was Damian Paulino.
Yeah, and you talked about the young, inexperienced offensive line for Churchill. They've done such a great job these last 2 possessions. And right there, you know, you got all the offensive linemen going towards the left, and you got to just pick up the man in front of you. Don't get too cute, look too far down the field. Get the guy in front of you, and Paulino was able to slip through and make a nice play here. And Churchill now backed up at 3rd and 18.
Yep, they moved right down the field, had everything going, and then all of a sudden the Clark defense is bowed up at just the right time. 3rd down and a mile. Hastings fires. One-on-one coverage, has a man, and that ball sails out of bounds. A flag comes from the back judge. That ball is completely uncatchable, 5 yards out of bounds. I'm wondering if it's going to hold up on the pass interference.
Pass intended for Hastings.
There's no flag on the play. The pass was uncatchable.
There you go. They get it right.
Yeah, so the Cougs catch a massive break here. They did. They had one-on-one coverage on the outside, and if this ball was thrown just an inch or two more up the sideline, Churchill will be picking up a big first down right there.
Christian Smith will punt it away for Churchill. Jeremy Gutierrez back deep to receive. Stands about his 10-yard line. Smith angling for the sideline, and again, Churchill gets the benefit of the bounce inside the 15. It'll be down there. Gives us time to tell you about the Children's Hospital of San Antonio. Our $5,000 band grant. One of the bands seen on TNL this year is going to win a $5,000 band grant. It's all based on your votes, so get out your phones and vote for your favorite band. Tonight you can text Band 1 to 44332 for Churchill. Band 2 to Clark. The $5,000 grant made possible by the Children's Hospital of San Antonio. It's a season-long event. The winner gets 5 Gs at the end of the season.
Yeah, Don, Coach Geist over there talking to one of his young sophomores that was down there on that kick team, explaining to him, you got to find the football, make sure that you get away. That ball takes an errant hop and you got your back turned. That's a live ball.
Little reverse action for the Cougs.
Oh, lots of green too.
Coming this way and making a nice move is Jordan Campbell across the 30-yard line.
Oh, razzle-madazzle there for the Cougs. Trying to match Churchill how to play like that with a little reverse action. Let's see both teams mixing it up here a little bit. It's a really well-played first half, I think, for the most part.
17 yards, and already we're seeing a really innovative J.L. Geist. Seen multiple sets, different kind of formations, and nice little razzle-dazzle there.
Yeah, you know, I like talking to him this week. I mean, he was saying it's been great exposing his players when he's done with all of them to both sides of the ball.
Here's another throwback, and Santos ends up with it, but that one was a little ill-conceived because the Chargers defense sniffed it out.
Well, I think the biggest thing is if you're going to be doing that, you got to be smooth with it, and if you're not, then all of a sudden you got the ball moving a lot of places, but if it's not quick and if it's not clean, then all of a sudden you got guys that are going to be back there to blow it up.
I like the idea, though. Just didn't quite execute it the way they wanted to. So now it's second down and 19. Santos takes a snap, keeps himself up the middle, and he's got some yardage. Breaks a tackle. Santos has the first down and more, all the way down to the 45-yard line. And David Santos showing off some wheels.
Well, that was a really nice play because you know Clark was going to be mindful of the game clock, backed up behind the sticks like they were. So, yeah, keep it on the ground so you make sure that the clock winds. But, hey, next thing you know, David Santos is turning it up the field. And I'm going to tell you what, Don, that was one heck of a tackle by Gavin Castro. He was getting fronted by his man, was able to hold it up, and then make the play. Otherwise, that could have been 6 for the Cougs.
A 24-yard gain inside of 2 minutes. The clock is a factor here as the Cougars run it inside. Nikos Varelas with the carry. And they'll want to stop it here. And Geist will take the timeout, or was it Churchill?
Well, either way, you know, Clark was sitting over there with 3 timeouts. The clock really isn't that much of a factor. You know, you've got those 3 bullets in your back pocket. So, you know, pretty much the whole playbook right now is open to Coach Geist. And it's funny, you know, what a difference a play makes, right? You're worried about trying to maybe kill clock so that Churchill doesn't have any time left if they get the ball back, to all of a sudden you get a great play from your running quarterback. Next thing you know, you got the ball near midfield. You got a chance to maybe get some points here at the end of the first half.
We're off to a great start here tonight with this exciting one. Here's a look at our TNL schedule. Next week, got Devin Gray of Antonian. Already verbal commit to Colorado. He's a special player. Look at the schedule the rest of the year. Smithson Valley Madison, Bernie Harlandale, Veterans Memorial and Brack, district battles like Brennan and Marshall and South San and Johnson going on the road to Bernie Champion for their game against the Coyotes. Judson's the #1 team in the preseason TNL Top 10, and O'Connor's #4. They take on Stevens also there down in November. So we're going to see some of the best players and best teams in all of San Antonio.
A really nice balanced schedule and hit all kinds of areas and pockets of the city. Looking forward to it.
Santos going deep. May have been overthrown and is, and picked off. Second interception of the night for Churchill's Gavin Castro.
I'll tell you what, that kid's having a heck of a game, huh? Forget the interceptions. That's one thing. I mean, this guy's making tackles, breaking through blocks, and obviously, maybe Churchill may want to think about spreading this guy out wide, man, if he got hands like that.
2 picks, a great tackle, and getting it done.
Got 2 feet in bounds, too. Only needed 1.
Maybe a John Wayne Player of the Game nominee, Gavin Castro, so far.
Early first half, yeah, for sure.
So Churchill gets it back with 1:25. That timeout coming into play now for the Chargers. Don't know if they expected to do much with it here with under 2 minutes to go, but they have a chance. Put the ball back in their hands on the 25. Hastings tosses. Tellis gets the line of scrimmage. And Churchill wants to hurry. He's second down and about 8. Be inside about a minute to go by the time they snap this one. Tick-tock wasting time right here, though. Only 1 timeout left. They're going to save it. Hastings gets the play call. Snaps it with 51. Again, it's an inside handoff, and we'll see if they burn it here.
Or we'll see if Clark burns it.
And now Clark will take the timeout because it's 4th down for Churchill. 3rd down, rather. Stay tuned after tonight's game on the CW35 for Outpost. I'd like to say, I would tell you it was a great show. I don't know if it is or not.
I'm sure it's phenomenal, or they wouldn't put it on TV.
You watch the Outpost, Chuck?
No, but I'm sure it's a great show. They wouldn't put it on TV.
It's new. The CW35 always has a new entertaining lineup of programming.
Yeah, or you can stream it at CW35.com. You have to check it out.
38 seconds to go. 3rd down for the Chargers. And again, Clark's got another timeout here. And they may be interested in taking it again, getting the football back.
Yeah, at least force him to punt or have a jailbreak, see if he can't make something happen.
Maybe have a Hail Mary.
We'll see if the Chargers may want to try to stick it to the Cougs for calling that timeout.
Inside handoff, good for a 1st down. And that'll probably be good enough for Churchill to run this out, take a 7-0 lead into the locker room. Clock stops momentarily to move the chains, but I'm sure Ron Harris at this point may be willing to just let it drain. Or maybe snap it one more time to tell us he's got breakaway speed.
We shall see.
1 snap left. And it's fumbled.
Boy, that's the last thing you want to have happen, right? Boy, a really clean first half. Got yourself a 7-0 lead. Avert disaster right there.
Clock shows zeros. And Churchill will take a 7-0 lead into the locker room as we'll wait for Zach Hedrick to catch up with Coach. A very clean game for week 1. Usually we see a lot more mistakes and errors, but both of these teams executing very well for being inexperienced players. And in the meantime, we'll head down to the sidelines and Zach Hedrick. Zach?
Hey guys, here with Coach Guys. Coach, quick start to the first half and then just kind of Still feeling it out a little bit. Your thoughts?
I was real pleased with the first drive by the offense. We've done some good things here and there on it. We've done some things we need to fix, so we'll go in and make adjustments and try to correct the things we're not doing well.
There's a DB over there, Ball Hawk. How do you kind of watch out for him?
Well, that first one that he got, that was like a punt, so I was okay with that one. Actually, it wasn't that big of a deal. Yeah, he's playing well. I don't know what to tell you on that other than that. Let's not try to throw right at him.
Coach, we'll let you get in there. Thanks so much for the time.
Welcome to the Lockaway Storage Halftime Show.
Churchill leads at 7-0 here at the half. We're here joined by Staff Sergeant Tim Arnold here. And Tim, thanks so much for joining. Pretty good game so far. As we kick off football season, we got a lot of team sports. I mean, lots of teamwork, band, football. It's a lot of common things that you guys look for in the Army.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, I'd like to say that the Army is proud to be out here with San Antonio football. And every Thursday night that they have games, we're going to be out here. So come by and see us. And we're all about teamwork. That's what the Army is really all about. The same as football and all the sports.
So Tim, also too, I mean, when people think armed services and everything like that, they think it's just, kind of infantry or very specialized sort of things, but there's actually a lot of career opportunities in the Army as well. Talk about that.
Absolutely. We have over 150 different career opportunities. So if you're interested in any of those career opportunities, come by to your local recruiting stations and see one of your recruiters, or you can text QS34 to Go Army.
And again, you guys are here tonight, but also every TNL game throughout the season.
Every Thursday night lights game, we're going to be out here. So come out here and support us, support your local San Antonio teams, and let's have fun.
Staff Sergeant Tim Arnold from Maryland. Thanks so much, Tim. Appreciate it. Guys, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Zach. On the field first at the halftime is the Churchill High School Marching Band. They're under the direction of head band director Amanda Stevenson. She is new to the Churchill staff, and she is the first 6A female head band director at Churchill and in the district, in the history of the school and the district. She is assisted by Joseph Espinoza, Colton Bean, and Kim Boer. 203 Chargers make up this band. The drum majors are Hannah Basoli, Sabrina Cervantes, Emily Wynn, and Hannah Spites. And this band right here has been working hard all summer, getting ready for this year's performances and competitions. They will be competing at the Band of America competition down in McAllen. And once again, we've teamed up with the Children's Hospital of San Antonio to award a $5,000 band grant to one of the bands that appears on TNL. Remember, it's all based on your votes, so get out your phone, make it happen. If you like the Churchill Band, text Band 1 to 44332. That's Band 1 without any spaces to 44332. And then for all the texting guidelines, you can go to cw35.com. I want to thank the Children's Hospital of San Antonio for, again, making the band grant possible. San Antonio middle and high school athletes are doing great things for our community. San Antonio Sports and Methodist Healthcare are shining the light on teams that model key values through their actions. This week, we salute two schools whose community projects demonstrate the Beyond the Game values. In May, Clark High School athletes volunteered their time over 3 days to help with the Texas Regional Games, assisting those with physical disabilities who competed in the Paralympic-style games. Earlier this month, the Churchill High School athletics program joined with Community in Schools to help stuff the bus. Athletes greeted shoppers and asked for donations of supplies for students in need across San Antonio. These athletes demonstrated the Beyond the Game values of sportsmanship, selfless service, caring, integrity, and respect. San Antonio Sports and Methodist Healthcare salute high school and middle school coaches who inspire their teams to serve others. Parents, teachers, and coaches can nominate teams that go beyond the game. Visit sanantoniosports.org.
You're watching the Lockaway Storage Halftime Show.
Welcome back to Taco Cabana. Thursday Night Lights here on the CW. We are at the half. Churchill with a 7-0 lead in their storied rival with the Clark Cougars. And guess what? It's time now to recognize tonight's Scholar Athlete of the Week. You know, each week we will highlight one student from each school playing on Taco Cabana TNL. At the end of the season, one of these recognized students will be awarded a $10,000 scholarship, which will be presented by Vulcan Materials Company. Let's go ahead and meet this week's students.
Our scholar athlete from Churchill High School this week is senior Ethan Woods. Ethan graduates next spring and ranks near the top of his class with a 109 GPA. A tight end and long snapper on the football team in the fall. In the spring, he's a member of the track and field team with his younger sister.
Gives us a little bit of friendly competition to be able to see who can do better in events and give me someone to help teach and her someone to look up to.
Ethan is also a member of the National Honor Society and the Campus Unity Club. He volunteers his time with the San Antonio Food Bank.
So to be able to give food to them and give time back to our community and have them be able to enjoy things that they don't usually have is good for me.
After getting his diploma, Ethan would like to attend the University of Texas in Austin.
And I want to either get into IT field somewhere in there or be a coach in football, basketball.
Linda Alvarado from Vulcan Materials is recognizing an outstanding kid like Ethan Woods from Churchill High School.
Ethan, congratulations on being this week's Scholar Athlete.
Thank you.
Our scholar athlete from Clark High School is senior Truett Heitzelman. Truett will graduate next spring, and with a perfect 4.0 GPA, he ranks 18th in his class of 680 students. He's the team captain of the basketball team, which he's played on for 3 years.
There's always a time to work hard, and there's always a time to play hard. I think we found a good way to have fun, because the whole reason we play sports is to have a good time and to have fun. But at the same time, there's also a time where you need to buckle down and work.
Truett is the president of the National Honor Society as well as the president of the Young Men's Service League. Recently, the Service League completed a camp that taught kids with special needs and disabilities how to ride a bike.
So it's really cool. You get to walk with them first while they're figuring it out and getting over their fears and stuff. And then by the end of the week on Friday, you're chasing after them in the parking lot and can't keep up with them. So it's really cool.
In his downtime, Truett plays guitar in a band.
I love the Beatles. I love even into more folk-like stuff, like the Avett Brothers, stuff like that. But really, anything, it's all, I love all types of music.
He's still looking at which college he wants to go to, but wants to study business. Linda Alvarado, representing Vulcan Materials, is recognizing an outstanding kid like Truett Heitzelman from Clark High School.
Truett, congratulations on being this week's Scholar Athlete.
Thank you.
You're watching the Lockaway Storage Halftime Show.
A little more than 8 minutes away from the start of the second half. I'm standing here with Mr. Bobby Blunt, president of Go Public. And Bobby, pretty good football game so far.
Oh, it's been great. It's a great program. It's a great event we're having tonight, and be able to go out here and speak for Go Public, I'm very pleased. So.
Mr. Blunt is also a trustee on the school board with Northside ISD, and got Clark High School here representing you guys tonight. But it's more than just supporting the football teams for Go Public.
Without a doubt. As you know, Go Public is a collaboration among all the different school districts. And what we want to do is get that positive message out of what's occurring within the district. And this football game is very exemplary in terms of showing that. I mean, just look around us. Look at the stands. They're full. All the different people out here watching. We've got so much community support. And we look, band is playing right now. They're heavily involved with it. We've seen our pep squad. We've seen our cheerleaders out here. And all the kids are really excited. So that's what it's all about. And those are the type of stories we want to get out there and tell.
A lot more. So everybody thinks football game, but also there's a lot more organizations that tie into it also. So.
We find that businesses get behind this. They want to help out the different schools that are participating. They're saying go Clark tonight. We're a little bit of go Churchill, but we won't count that part of it, et cetera. And the community support is just tremendous without a doubt. And the stories that we can tell from this, when you get to know those individual kids or those individual businesses that are helping out, well, that's what we want to do within Go Public.
Bobby, thanks so much for the time. Really appreciate it. Guys, back up to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Zach. Great job. appreciate Go Public. And now it's time for the Clark Cougar Marching Band. 187 proud Cougars on the field. They're under the direction of band director Justin Murphy. He is assisted by John Thornhill and Adela Lerma. The drum majors are Dylan Knowles, Devin McWilliams, and Kendra Katara. The Cougar Band working hard every day to get ready for this year's contest season. That starts in about a month. And again, we've teamed up with the Children's Hospital of San Antonio to award a $5,000 band grant to one of the bands that appears all season long on Thursday Night Lights. They can't win if you don't vote for them, so remember, get out your phone and vote. Again, if you want to vote for Clark, it's text BAND2 to 44332. That's BAND2, no spaces. And for all the texting guidelines, you can go to the CW35.com. And again, our thanks to the Children's Hospital of San Antonio for once again making the $5,000 band grant possible. We're about 5 minutes from kicking off the second half of the Gucci Bowl. Churchill leads Clark. We'll get back underway for second half action when we come back.
You're watching the Lockaway Storage Halftime Show.
Welcome back. Time for our halftime highlights brought to you by Mission Discount Water Softeners. And in a 7-0 ball game, defensive highlights as you might expect. And Chuck, Churchill's Gavin Castro had a big night, and it started with that interception.
Yeah, Gavin Castro was an all-district DB as a sophomore. He does play some wide receiver, and boy, we're getting a lot of looks at him tonight. He's ball hawking all over the place.
Michael Doty's just a sophomore for the Chargers, and he's got a bright future. He popped this one all the way down to the 6-yard line, and that set up a touchdown, our one and only touchdown of the game, from Dominic Tellis, who's also had a couple of other nice runs.
Yeah, Churchill done a really nice job. They had 2 back-to-back drives where they were really effective moving the football, running it.
That made it 7-0. Clark was driving. They've had some success, but again, Gavin Castro coming up with his second pick of the night.
Well, this young man is special. You know, if you're all-league performer as a sophomore in that league, that's special.
Churchill on the top end, not just of the scoreboard, but also total offense, passing yards, pretty equal. Churchill's outgained Clark on the ground 164 to 93. Pretty even in first downs. And then again, penalties have been a factor for both teams.
Well, they have, but, you know, and again, turnovers too. You don't like to see that. But again, the first turnover for Clark was essentially a punt. You heard Coach Geis talk about that, but that last one was, you know, a rally killer, obviously, and the reason why we're sitting here at 7-0 at the break.
When we come back, about 2 minutes away from kickoff, good crowd on hand for the Gucci Bowl. Always a good rivalry. We'll see how it plays out with the second half action when we come back to Ferris Stadium.
Thanks for watching the Lockaway Storage Halftime Show. Stay tuned for the second half kickoff. You're watching Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights, presented by John Wayne Service Company.
Well, here come the Cougars. The Chargers and the Cougars are both back on the field as we get ready for second half action here at Ferris Stadium. 36th meeting of the Gucci Bowl started back in 1984 when Gucci was the in thing. Funny article in the newspaper this week about how the Gucci Bowl got its name, and they compared Churchill and Clark in those days to the exact replica of the Breakfast Club. They said the two schools were spitting out Molly Ringwalds and James Spaders, their penny loafers and Argyle socks back in the day.
Well, two schools with a ton of football tradition, great schools too, making fine young men and women a society. It's interesting, you know, Coach Geist, this is his first Gucci Bowl, obviously, and he says he's real mindful of the rich football tradition at Clark. But they're not looking back too much. They want to look forward to what's ahead and what they can build right now.
Well, Churchill's going to get the ball first here in the second half. Clark ready to kick it off.
I think, you know, if you're Ron Harris, you know, he talked about how many unknowns, maybe more unknowns than he's ever had during his tenure at Churchill. I think he's got to be pretty pleased with how his young offensive line has responded in this first half against the stout Clark defensive line, keeping the quarterback clean and no turnovers, and he's got the lead.
Second half kickoff sponsored by the San Antonio Police Department. Visit sapdcareers.com. Ozell Contreras to do the honors. He kicks it to Braden Gill, who's got it at the 10-yard line, and Gill's got it to the 20, and the 30, cuts it back inside, and he's still on his feet. Across the 35 to about the 37-yard line. And that's where the Chargers will have it first with the 7-0 lead here after a 28-yard return.
Yeah, it was very nice coming back across the way. Some really nice blocking there, and good job by the Cougs staying at home.
If you're just joining us, we'll reset it for you. Corson Hastings is the senior quarterback for Churchill. Played a little bit last year through 7 attempts. Pretty inexperienced team, even though they're seniors. Michael Wade is a returning wide receiver who played more than most last year, and Clark jumps off right from the get-go to get the second half underway.
Yeah, got him on a little hard count, but yeah, speaking about Corson Hastings, the quarterback, this young man's number 41 in his class of about 700 kids, so you don't have to worry about memorizing the playbook.
Yeah, I think he's got the mental part down.
Tannehill just a little antsy to get back there. Big fella lining up at nose.
1st and 5. Comes this way, and Tellis again finds the hole. He does a pretty good job of that every time he carries the football. Moves it near the sticks, across the sticks, and that will be a first down.
Yeah, it's a really good read by Tellis. Looked like he may have wanted to pop that outside. Saw a little crease there going back inside. Big first down here for Churchill to start the second half.
Gold's Gym, first down indeed. Motion, direct snap. It looked like a direct snap to Tellis, but they faked me out. It's Hastings who kept it. There's a loss on the play. Good penetration up front.
Yeah, it was
Ted Rodriguez there to blow it up.
Had a hard time finding the ears on the snap, and that was almost a disaster for Churchill, and Clark takes full advantage of the busted play.
Second down and 13 for the Chargers.
Very intelligent quarterback, recognizes packages, and can check and get the Chargers into the correct play almost every time, Coach Harris was telling us.
Another false start. That's been a kind of a pain in the side of Coach Harris tonight.
On the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
And that keeps them moving behind the sticks, playing behind the chains all night. Ron Harris not happy with that, as you do a few things good and just takes one of those to put you in tough play calling situations for the coach.
Well, you know, they've done a pretty good job absorbing these little hits that they've taken when they've gotten the yellow hankies.
Second down and 18. Little movement out early. This is Govan. Check that, that's Cameron Kelly with the carry.
Kelly had a hard time getting the handle on the football too, was able to secure it and turn it up for a nice little gain there.
Pierce Stratton with the tackle, sets up third down and 13. See what Ron Harris has up his sleeve here in this situation. Wade and Castro, who's got 2 interceptions on defense, now lined up at receiver. Rolling to his left is Hastings. He fires that way. He completed it to Wade.
Yeah, and if you're worried about Corson Hastings' arm strength, I don't think you have to worry about that anymore. I mean, young man rolling to his left, fires a seed over there on the left side, but not quite enough for the first down.
So that'll bring Christian Smith out to punt it away. Jeremy Gutierrez back deep to return for the Cougars. Good high kick. They'll let it bounce, and this is going to be interesting.
Whoa, how about that?
Make a play down inside the 5. Good hustle by the special teams. That might have been Castro again. It is.
Are you kidding me?
Gavin Castro, 2 interceptions and a play on special teams.
Doing everything but driving the bus.
Churchill leads it 7-0.
Closed captioning for tonight's game is sponsored by Associated Collision Center, serving San Antonio since 1976.
Welcome back. Tough field position for the Cougars after a nice play by Gavin Castro on special teams. They hand inside and get back to the 4-yard line. Nico Varelis on the carry.
Yeah, Nico Varelis, just a freshman. Coach Geist was telling us, you know the old story, Don. You see a freshman on varsity, it means one thing. Speed, speed, and more speed. His big brother plays on the team, too.
2nd and 8 from inside the 5. There he is again, and this time he stood up. Churchill, good interior push by the defensive front. Big number 50 coming through for the Chargers. That's Koji Potter.
Koji Potter, look at that. National Honor Society, involved in his church. Of course he enjoys Whataburger. It's Texas, brother. Koji Porter making a play and standing out.
He's looking for an endorsement deal.
Keeps playing like that, he's going to get one.
3rd and 9. Churchill looking to capitalize on a flip of field position here if they can get off the field. Santos running. He's got a guy open. And nice job tipping the ball away. A little mad at himself because he wanted the interception. Was Braden Gill, but he did a good job of deflecting it and keeping it from a big gain.
Well, Santos did a really good job buying some time, and how about that block down there at the bottom of your screen by Matthew Ayala? Another biscuit for breakfast, and that thing might go to the house, though, on that throw.
Ruben Pena will stand deep in his end zone. And Churchill will have good field position no matter how this turns out.
Hello.
Instead, it'll be a safety for Churchill. They'll go up 9-0, and they'll get the football back as a special teams bust for the Cougars is snapped right over the head of Pena. So Churchill will have a 9-0 lead and the football when we come back to Ferris Stadium. Welcome back. We're at Ferris Stadium. Churchill just goes up 9-0 after a bad snap for a safety. As Ozell Contreras will kick it away. And the Chargers' Braden Gill has it across the 40. He's got speed across the 50, and he's tripped up. And again, Churchill will have good field position after a 31-yard return. Joshua Cervantes doing a nice job of keeping that one from going to the house.
Yeah, you see so many times early on in the season, special teams can be a problem. And it's just like in baseball, Don, you know, if you're an infielder, you airmail a ball and you give your first baseman no chance. It's the same thing when you're snapping a football. You're better off skipping it, give your punter a chance to at least field the ball and then kick it away, but very hard to do so when it's snapped over your head.
First down and 10 for the Chargers. Hastings will take it and hand it off inside for no gain. Just maybe a 2-yard gain as we send it down to Zach Hedrick.
Hey, Donna Chuck, joined now by Amanda Stevenson, first-year band director at Churchill High School. So, Amanda, great performance tonight. I know being in band, there's never enough rehearsal time for the first game, but tell us about the program this year and what did y'all perform tonight?
So tonight our show's entitled Tempted. It's kind of about life's choices, good choices, bad choices, temptations in our life. And obviously at the end of our show, once we get there, we're kind of starting everything out right now. But once we get to the end, we'll kind of showcase visually through snakes and apples and color, making good choices throughout your life.
These high school marching band shows have just become more and more productions and stuff like that. All of that gets rolled out during contest season. When is that first big one for you guys?
Our first big one is Bands of America in McAllen, so that's going to be on September 21st. So we're going to head down the night before, spend the night, get some rehearsal in, and hit that show, and hopefully do really well.
Awesome. Yep. Amanda, thank you so much for the time. Good luck the rest of this year.
Thanks so much.
Guys, back up to y'all.
Thanks, Zach. Michael Wade picks up a first down for Churchill, and now we have a flag fly and another false start, and that's about a half dozen for Ron Harris's team tonight.
False start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, repeat first down.
That will be a point of emphasis in practice next week. I don't know if they still do it, Chuck, but back in the old days, that was the next week of practice. Anytime there was a false start, everybody on the line. Everybody on the line.
Well, he's got so many new faces. I mean, I think they played pretty darn clean tonight, you know, overall, considering all the elements that, you know, guys moving around in the backfield and all the different options that they can do from back there. I mean, it's still the ultimate team sport when you got 11 on 11.
Michael Doty on the carry, the sophomore. Another strong run for a sophomore right up the middle, picks up a couple and got a little nick on the Clark defense. Alan Alvarez comes off. Second down and 10. Hastings rolls. Comes back this way. He's going to keep it. He's got some room up the middle. He's got speed, hits the crease. Wants to run somebody over and does inside the 20. Corson Hastings making something out of nothing.
Now, we talked about this young offensive line for Churchill. Look at Chris Espinosa out there. The right guard pulling all the way to the left side and clearing out basically half the field so his QB could get some green on the other side.
So the Chargers move inside the U.S. Army red zone all the way down to the 17. Up 9-0. 5 minutes here to play in the third. A handoff to Tellis. And he's wrapped up, not before he picks up about another 3 yards on the carry.
There was a really fine play there and a fine stop by Varnell Scepter. Scepter had a really big turnover in that Reagan scrimmage a few days ago. It was a really fine play getting the ball carrier and bringing him down.
Sets up 2nd and 6. Another inside handoff. Tellis tries to bounce it, but again, the Clark defense, good job with initial penetration to make the tackle. And again, it's Jeremy Gutierrez coming up to make the play.
Yeah, and you got a lot of guys filling too. Damian Paulino is going both ways, playing some fullback. Also some DB. They're swarming to the ball and putting Churchill here in a 3rd down situation. Got to have a stop, at least hold him to 3.
3rd down and 5. Big play for the Chargers. Hastings fakes it, play action, and just short arms it. Incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 5, and it gives us a time to remind you again to vote for the cheer challenge or register your team right now at the CW35.com. It's powered by CPS Energy. Remember, your cheer squad can win a $1,000 or $500 cash grant. If you want your cheer squad to be a part of the action, register now at the CW35.com. So it looks like Churchill's going to attempt about a 29-yard field goal here. And Angelo Del Cid will try to kick it out of the hold of Hastings. Got it down, and that's a pretty good-looking kick right down the pipe. Churchill up 12-0 on the 29-yard field goal by Angelo Del Cid. It's all Chargers right now with 4:21 to go in the third. Welcome back to Ferris Stadium. Time for our Go Public Teacher Spotlight. Laura Swain is awesome. She has great qualities. She's caring, compassionate, motivating, does the same with the other teachers on campus. She's as much a school culture leader as she is a classroom leader. Congratulations, Laura, for all the work you do with the kids there at Clark High School. Ball's muffed and then recovered, and Clark will have it at the 33-yard line. Chuck, I don't know about you, but I am not a fan of kickoffs in high school football anymore because they've taken away the element of the return. It's always this same little bubble kick. You're always going to get the ball at about the 30, 35-yard line. So why don't they just eliminate them altogether, because no one really wants to kick it away anymore?
Well, you know, you still got to do onside kicks at some point, so I don't know how you clean that up.
Yeah. Handoff up the middle. About a 6-yard gain. I stand corrected. They kicked it away on the last possession. You know, there's been concerns at all levels of football about the safety of kickoffs, and there's been ideas in some conferences and leagues about maybe eliminating the kickoff. I like the kickoff in all of football. If it's exciting, it's an exciting time of the, you know, it has potential for game-breaking plays, but more and more teams, you see that in high school football, that little pop-up kick. Oh, Corey Govan on the carry.
Yeah, Govan with a really nice run there on first down. Looked like a plow horse bowling his way through there, but not a lot of running room that time. Thanks in part to guys like Aiden Cabrera. Had some help over there too, as the Churchill defensive line really bowing up and having a nice game so far.
Third down and short. Third down and 3 as Santos checks out of it.
Yeah, a little look-at-me action going from the sideline.
Jordan Campbell and Ethan Rayfield on the far right-hand side. And now Clark wants to take a timeout to talk this over. Big conversion opportunity here.
Yeah, you're getting to the point now where at some point you got to get the ball down the field, and you got to either kick a field goal or get a touchdown. And if you're Clark, preferably a touchdown, obviously, because you're in a 2-score game.
And we're back in 30 seconds.
Fly easier, fly San Antonio, where we have more than 50 food, beverage, retail, and service concessionaires for your traveling convenience, from national brands to local San Antonio favorites. Enroll in the SAT Rewards program, gain promotions, discounts, and points for every purchase. And your one boarding pass offers you access to every concessionaire in both terminals. Fly easier, fly San Antonio.
All right, we're 3rd and 3. Clark's got the play they want signaled in. And the Cougars need to start moving the football to get this thing tied up. And they're not going anywhere. Stop short, good penetration by the Churchill defense as Santos kept it. And now, what do you do if you're Clark? You're going to punt it away. It's still a 2-possession game. We're still in the third quarter. And now, the Charger student section's going crazy. They know they're on TV.
Clark offensive coordinator Alan Hill, has been around, a little Smithson Valley in him, and also did such a great job over at Churchill, not only with the football team, but also with the baseball team. Looked at his head coach. They thought about it for a second, thought about maybe going for it, but decided to kick it away, and we've got somebody down.
Coming right to us here.
Yeah, Braden Gill did not like what happened to him right as he fielded the football, but it looks like he's going to run it off. Let's go down to Zach Hedrick.
Hey, Don and Chuck. I'm joined by Justin Murphy, the high school band director for Clark. And Justin, great opener tonight.
Thanks.
Justin, this year, tell us about the program and what did you guys perform tonight?
The program's called Reflections. It's got music Pat Metheny, Eric Whitaker, and Justin Timberlake. And we did the whole thing tonight.
Full show on the field already. That's impressive.
You bet. Thank you. Thank you.
Justin, also, I know for you guys, fall is a big season, going out to contests and everything. When's the first big one for Clark High School Band this year?
It's the last week in September. We go to East Central, and that's when we're going to start. So we got about 4 weeks in a row right there.
So lots of hard practice ahead, and of course, getting ready for the Texas Heat in September.
You bet. You bet. Kids are working hard.
Justin, thank you so much for the time. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot. Thanks.
Guys, back up to you.
Thanks a lot, Zach. 2nd and 9 after the Dominic Tellis run. Good opportunity for Clark here of the defense to stand up and maybe flip the field. Hastings under center for the Chargers. Another inside handoff, and Cameron Kelly goes forward for about 2, and that'll set up 3rd down and about 7. And another good opportunity for the Cougars to get off the field here.
Yeah, it's back-to-back really good plays by Jared Smith and company. Getting in there and kind of blowing things up before they can really get started. I don't see a lot of teams that run this kind of offense, so there's another adjustment that this young defense is going to have to make.
A lot of multiple formations for the Chargers as well. Little jet sweep this time, trying to get outside. Chargers don't quite get there. Good pursuit by the Clark defense as Castro comes up short of the 1st down. Got to the 30, and that'll bring up 4th down and a long 2.
Yeah, Ethan Reed did a really nice job, number 15, kind of squirting through there and forcing that thing even more outside, and then had some backside help. You're already seeing these guys. This has been a really physical game, and you see some of these guys like Isaac Alaman walking around down there look like they've been in a fist fight.
Looks like Braden Gill's going to punt it away for Churchill. And back to receive for Clark is Jeremy Gutierrez. That's a high punt that's going to cross midfield and check up. And Clark will have good field position on their own 48-yard line as we take a look at another teacher spotlight. This is really a cool feature this year on Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights. This is Karen Montemayor. She's a 9th grade biology teacher at Churchill. Biology teacher's coming through tonight. She's the science instructional dean at Churchill. She utilizes practical real-world examples and scenarios to bring learning life and also to make it enjoyable. First day of school, students on the soccer team asked her to make sure that she attended their games in the spring, and she came through for them. Santos scrambling, throws it, and it's incomplete. A little dangerous play there, but he got away with it. She heard about the offer to go to the soccer game, and so they're going to give her a jersey and make her a captain. And she's built a lot of meaningful relationships with students, colleagues, and community members. You can read it right there like me. She's a rock star. Congratulations, Karen Montemayor.
That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
And that's the end of the 3rd quarter with Churchill up 12-0, courtesy of a touchdown, safety, and field goal And we're coming back with the fourth quarter right after this. Welcome back. We're at the Gucci Bowl. Lots of Gucci Bowl t-shirts. 36th edition as we take a look at our Mission Discount Water Softeners third quarter highlights. Good play by Michael Gill here or Braden Gill rather, to break up what could have been a touchdown for Clark. And then we had the special teams mishap for the Cougars, and that's how Churchill has gone up by a score of 12-0.
Yeah, he had the bad punt situation, which also led to a field goal. So that was a 5-point play essentially on the one goof up.
Clark on first down has a loss on the play here. I will reverse. Jordan Campbell brought down for a loss. That's up second down and 12 for Clark. Here as we start the fourth quarter. David Santos, quarterback for the Cougs, trying to get some offense generated here. Right now, goose egg on there. Fires to the left-hand side. It's caught. That's Jeremy Cervantes. Does a nice job of picking up about 7 yards. Put the Cougars in a manageable situation to move the sticks here.
Yeah, they were jamming the outside receiver on the right and then laying off right there, throwing it outside to number 84. So Cervantes doing a really nice job of not only catching the ball, but turning it up a little bit too.
Third down and 6 for the Cougars. Santos getting any call in. You mentioned Alan Hill. His dad, of course, Larry Hill at Smithson Valley.
Just remember that baseball run they made a couple of years ago. Going deep.
Just couldn't find it. Jordan Campbell looked over the other shoulder. Nice little throw there by Santos. I liked his release. He just flicked it, but just kind of threw it over the wrong shoulder.
Yeah, maybe put a little hair under that one. Need a little air instead.
Hey, at the end of the game, we're going to award our Monarch trophies to tonight's winning player of the game. The trophies were custom designed by Monarch Trophy Studio. If you're looking for trophies, plaques, custom engraving, call Monarch 210-344-3777 or visit mtsawards.com. Santos scrambling, run it, being pushed back on fourth down, not going to get there. And again, the Churchill defense comes through. Koji Potter. Nice play by the Chargers. They'll get the football back, and they're still pitching a shutout here in the Gucci Bowl. .13 left here in the fourth quarter. Churchill leads Clark 12-0 as the Chargers are on their way right now to a 10th consecutive win in this series. And Clark jumped but got back, no contact. And instead, Churchill will hand off inside. Look out. Still on his feet and all the way to the 30-yard line is Cameron Kelly. Right up the gut. Churchill's offensive line doing a great job of blocking on the interior.
Yeah, they really have. And, you know, this Clark defense has done a great job all night, but they've been on the field a lot in this second half. You just wonder if they're starting to wear down, too.
25-yard pickup. Good for a Gold's Gym first down. Corson Hastings tries to lead the Chargers to another score. This is Tellis. And he got hit. Did the ball come out? I think Clark thinks they may have recovered that, and they have. It's a turnover for the Cougars. Nice play by Jeremy Gutierrez to come up with the football. And I believe it was Big 99 who caused it to come out.
Yeah, let's see. He had a lot of blocking. Somebody just poked him from behind. Look like was, Pierce Stratton maybe?
Yep.
Got to get low.
Stratton on the cause, Gutierrez on the recovery.
Oh, yeah, did a really nice job being blocked, never out of the play, sticking his hand back in there and swiping it out. Huge play by number 9, Mr. Stratton.
All right, so Clark's got some juice, new energy. The football at 25, need to make something happen to get back in this ball game, and instead they're going to have to burn a timeout to get everybody lined up right, and we'll take it with them. Churchill leading Clark here, 9:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Welcome back. 1st and 10 for the Clark Cougars after that turnover. Santos, play action, has time, now is pressured, fires, and is it caught? It was close. Line judge is saying incomplete, and Santos is hurt. Santos is going to take himself off the field, but
he's taken a couple shots, Don. He took a shot on that last 4th down play, and man,
tough.
Yeah.
He's tough. He's saying, no, I'm good. Look how much pain he's in, and he doesn't want to come out. It's not good. It's the other hand.
I'll tell you, he's done a really good job really deking these defensive linemen, too, to buy himself some extra time. He's got some outstanding pocket presence and his ability to be shifty there. Boy, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, he's going beyond the game. You can share their story, nominate middle school and high school teams. Russ Bookbinder told you about it earlier in the program. If you want to nominate a team that you know has gone beyond the game for their great community service, nominate them at sanantoniosports.org. 2nd down and 10. The left elbow was hurt. Right is what he throws with. Instead, he hands to Govan, and Govan picks up 5, and now a little extra whistles. Almost had a little scrap here on the outside between the DB and the receiver. No harm, no foul. They clean it up, and here we go. We play on with 3rd and 5.
Yeah, I think that was one of those calls where the coach was giving the quarterback a chance to kind of regroup for a play.
Maybe a funny bone, you know, the way he was holding that elbow.
Yeah, you hope that's all it is.
Get that electric shock feeling. That's never fun. Gonna keep. Got the middle of the field, and he's got the 1st down. How about the toughness by David Santos?
Yeah, we're seeing it on display, that's for sure. I mean, this guy's taken 2 or 3 wicked shots here in these last couple series. 3rd and long, and nursing a bum elbow on the left side. And looking for more.
Like how he seeks out contact. So it's good tackle, 41.
With the bum elbow.
And it's another Gold's Gym 1st down. Clark on the move, down 12-0, 8 minutes to go. Got to hurry, got to get something going. Blitz coming, and Santos is drilled down as a couple of Chargers got back there. Vincent Matsugimba for 1. And 90, Eric Munoz there as well. You spotlighted Munoz to start the game.
Yeah, obviously Churchill coming with the blitz right into the face of the quarterback there. First man in was Guardiola. And then after Santos slipped, it was just a couple of guys there to clean up the mess.
Santos might have a hard time getting out of bed tomorrow. He's taking some shots.
Heck, I might have a hard time getting out of bed tomorrow just watching him.
And that ball's incomplete as breaking it up. It was intended for Jeremy Gutierrez. Fabrizio Perry there to break it up. Did a nice job with the pursuit and the breakup.
Well, we'll see what the Cougars have in store here on 3rd and, what, about 15? They're going to spread you out. Maybe try to run somebody underneath. Or take a shot downfield.
3rd down and 16. Santos backside pressure. He's taken down for a loss. And again, it's Perry.
What a first step. And coming from the blind side, and he just blew by his man. Look at that. And then it's one thing to get past your guy, but then to be able to put that plant foot in the ground and curl towards the quarterback. What a play. That might have been the play of the night.
There's a reason they call him Fab. He's fabulous. Good hustle. Michael Wade back to return this one. Churchill now protecting a 12-0 lead with only 6 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Ron Harris will probably run some clock on this next series. Good punt. Going to back Wade up and take a sideways hop, and they'll let it die at the 39, and that's where the Chargers will have it when we come back. 12-0 lead for Churchill in the Gucci Bowl. Welcome back. Time for another U.S. Army player profile. Isaac Alamon, the senior fullback for Churchill. Smart. He's got a GPA of 90. Plays baseball as well. All district. Helps coach beep baseball for the blind. And no Whataburger deal for him. He enjoys sports and hanging with his friends. But I bet you $10 he enjoys Whataburger too.
You know, they've had a great run of baseball players over there at the Hill pretty much this entire decade.
Inside handoff, going for almost a first down, if not a first down. That's Michael Wade.
Yeah, I don't know what more you can ask of this Clark defense than what they've put together tonight. You know, going up against some exotic running, been really, really good. But fellas, they're asking you to bow up one more time, maybe 2 more times.
First and 10, bunch formation. Churchill doing this formation switch where they move the tight end almost every play. It's Wade again, and he is stuck right at the line of scrimmage. That was a violent collision. 29 made the hit, and he's having a hard time getting up himself.
I'll tell you, Jared Smith's been all over the field tonight. Done a really good job on these runs, closing and wrapping up. Paid the price on that one. Churchill obviously in no hurry to get up and snap the football as the clock winds here in the 4th.
5:14 to play. No hurry, as we said. Clark still physical up front. Michael Doty on the carry. Cougars are not going quietly.
Cam Bell's had a nice game too. He's a load.
Doty's going to be down. Hey, Chuck, it's time for the gentle musings of the uniform czar. And I know that you made a comment early as well. 2 clean looks here tonight.
Yeah, and Clark going with the throwback look with the logo.
Yeah, that C is a huge improvement over the state of Texas or the Cougar that they've had in the past. I love the fact that the numerals don't have any outside border. It's just a block 29 on there. Good, clean black and white look. Huge improvement on the helmet. Matte black is nice too. Churchill's done some things differently too. They used to have the wide, equal red and white stripes down the middle of the helmet. Now it goes to the point in the back. And the LLJP, long live Josh Pollard.
Amen.
They are keeping that tradition alive. Number 12, of course, passed away about 3 years ago. Valued member of the Churchill community, leader, senior captain, and they still run onto the field carrying number 12, and they still have his favorite color, baby blue, with the LLJP right there at the front of the face mask. Great to see that.
100%.
Third down, a straight ahead run by Dominic Tellish. And that'll set up 4th down as we tick down almost inside of 4 minutes to go.
Well, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here for Clark, so would be a bit opposed to see even the ball is punted inside the 10. See if one of your guys can't make a play, field the ball, and see if you can't make something happen on special teams. Got to have a score, and got to have a score quick to have a chance.
They need Jeremy Gutierrez to make a big play here. If he gets a chance, he'll let it go right over his head, and it'll be a touchback. And
Ron Harris thinking the same thing. Tells his punter, just kill it inside the end zone.
And we'll be back in 30 seconds.
I'm Rich Stinson, and on behalf of the entire team at the San Antonio International Airport, we'd like to say thank you. Thank you, San Antonio, for allowing us to serve you and all of your travel needs. For more than 75 years, we've been your hometown airport. Because of you, we continue to experience unprecedented growth, and we're excited about the future possibilities as we enter phase 2 of our strategic development plan. Thank you for flying easier, and thank you for flying San Antonio.
Inside of 4 minutes, and Santos is letting it fly. Churchill came back to make a play. Is it a pick?
Yep.
Who's it is? Ty goes to the, no, Churchill comes up with it.
That's another interception.
Is that Brandon Gill this time? Now is Jaquan Anderson coming up with the pick.
Did a really good job just playing center field, locating the ball.
Came back for it and
yeah,
just a fight for it.
Ball in the air, my ball.
Good call by the official. Just went and took it away from the receiver, and now Churchill will just be content to run this out if they can.
I'll tell you, the Churchill DBs have been really special tonight. You know, 10 had a really good game and got a little nicked up, and Clark thought they could go back, maybe pick on somebody else, and how about that?
Tell us for 5.
Young man was equal to the task.
So it looks like the streak is going to survive. Churchill is going to win, barring some sort of miracle here, their 10th straight Gucci Bowl.
You know, things are looking up for Clark. I mean, Coach Geist coming off an 8-3 record last year. He's head coach at Fort Bend Dulles. And he knows it's going to be some baby steps and some growing pains along the way. But tell you what, you know, play here or play there. Maybe it's a little different game, but I think pretty good showing tonight by Clark with all the newness of the offense and the defense and the special teams and the kids trying to learn the new coach. The coaches trying to learn the kids. They got a couple of holdovers from the last Clark staff, but you know, essentially this is a whole new group of guys trying to find out what they have in these kids, and a lot of kids playing both ways tonight, and you know, nowhere to go but up.
Don't forget to register your team for the cheer challenge. It's going to be a big deal all season long here on TNL. Inside handoff is good for a first down, and Churchill's really got to like the power of Cameron Kelly that he's shown here tonight.
Yep, no doubt. And again, I think with as many questions as Coach Harris had, you know, he thought his offensive lineman could play. He's seen him in practice, he's seen him in scrimmages, but he said, you know, until you go out and do it, there's going to be some unknowns in terms of, you know, can you prove to me that you can do it? And I think that offensive line answered a lot of question marks tonight, especially against a pretty good front. Especially those 3 beasties that Clark has up front on defense.
Officials talking this one over. Robert Cossey is going to let us know what the call is.
Personal foul, targeting. It's a non-flagrant, number 4 black. That's 15 yards and automatic first down.
All right, so there you go. Lowered his head to make the contact.
Yeah, Jordan Campbell. Clark coaches were telling me that might be the fastest young man on the team. So we know he's fast and he likes to hit too.
Another Gold's Gym first down for the Chargers. Look out. And again, it's Kelly. It's a strong run.
And again, it's Jared Smith. Mercy, he's got to be creeping up on a 10-tackle night.
Set up 2nd down and 7 inside the red zone. Now it's a matter of pride in that score for the Clark defense. Tellis and Kelly in the backfield. It's Tellis to the right side, to the strong side, breaks a tackle and picks up about 4 again, and we'll go inside of a minute and a half here before the next snap.
Yeah, a lot of this is just, here we are, see if he can stop it. I mean, they're pulling that tight end, moving him over to the right side, and they're running it over there, and they've had quite a bit of success tonight running the football for sure.
Inside the U.S. Army red zone. All just a formality now. The outcome, that is. Same play to Tellis. Brook 1 tackle, and he's brought down inside the 10 at about the 8-yard line. It is good for a 1st down, and now Churchill can just take a couple of knees and this thing will be over.
Yeah, quite a battle and a hard-fought victory for Winston Churchill High School, Don Harris.
Class of 83, thank you very much. Tried not to be biased.
I'm trying to do the math. It's like 83.
36 years, man. The Gucci Bowl started the year. The Gucci Bowl started with the class of 84. Actually, the class of 85. It was in 84. He's going to score. And Tellis walks in to kind of rub dirt in the eye of the Clark Cougars. I don't know that was the intention, but, you know, it's your job to stop them. And Dominic Tellis just walks in to make it 18-0 with 33 seconds to go.
100%. I mean, I don't know what you're supposed to do at this point. You do have a flag down. You can't tell the kid not to score, right?
Yeah. I mean, you could argue take a knee there with a new set of downs, but it's early in the season. You're trying to establish some things. No harm. It's not like it's 50-0.
We can't say enough about the job that the Churchill defense did tonight as well. I mean, anytime you come into a game, especially the first game, pitch a shutout, that's impressive.
Touchdown's going to stand.
Conduct on the white. 15-yard penalty. Try for point.
15 yards will be assessed on the kickoff. And so Angelo Del Cid will be on to try to make this 19-0, the shutout.
And I think it's kind of fitting. We talk about the job that this Churchill defense did tonight overall, that pretty much have to award our player of the game, right? To that side of the football?
Yeah.
I know what you're thinking.
I got mine. I don't know if everybody agrees with me.
Oh, yeah, I think we do.
Okay. Kick is good. And it is 19-0 Churchill. They'll kick it away, and Churchill will go to 1-0, 10 straight in the Gucci. But I think we've seen some good things here from J.L. Geist and this Cougar program, and he said it before the game, it's 1 week at a time, 1 practice at a time. We're starting over and we're building, and I think they showed signs that they are building tonight.
Yeah, win the day, win the play, all that stuff. I mean, they talk about this every day at Clark with, what they're trying to build and the culture they're trying to establish, and have a leadership council and exposing the freshman class that they're very excited about to playing on both sides of the ball. That way, if they get into a pinch, when these guys get to varsity, they got to plug somebody in a pressure situation because of injury. We'll have guys that are learning everything, and that's part of the deal. Don't put any limits on where you may have these guys on the field someday when they're in varsity.
Hey, have you voted yet for the band grant? Don't forget the San Antonio Children's Hospital and Chris's Health sponsoring our $5,000 band grant. Vote for your favorite band, Churchill tonight or Clark, at band 1 for the Chargers at 44332. Text band 2 for the Cougars at 44332. All season long, 10 games, 20 bands. The ones with the most texts get the $5,000. Del Cid on to kick it away. Joshua Cervantes and Jordan Campbell back to receive for the Cougars. And game 1 of week 1 will be in the books. Got some good games around town as well tonight. Fredericksburg and Sam Houston playing a good one. Kickoff return goes across the 35-yard line. Joshua Cervantes with a nice return.
Yeah, and talking to Coach Harris this week, he said, who knows what the results are going to be tonight, the rest of the year, but I'm telling you, Don, he could not say enough good things about the group of kids that he has to work with every day. Good kids, positive kids, energetic. That's what it's all about. I mean, he's done a really nice job with this program. And again, changing up the offense because he really felt like he needed to do that with what he had. Kind of under the radar in a lot of regards.
A lot of inexperience, but good attitudes, and they showed it tonight. Had a little bit of problem with false starts. They'll clean that up in week 2 and 3. Corey Govan, he won't be happy about that. Coaches never are. But seen a lot of good things. Good poise.
Koji Potter again. And so many superlatives for the Churchill defense. And don't hang your head, 3. That was one heck of a performance.
Toughness.
Good toughness.
Yeah. Really impressed with David Santos. Charger student section's going crazy. The Gucci Bowl still means something to the kids. You can see that with the spirit tonight. All the T-shirts on both sides of the student sections.
Yeah, good clean game. It was a lot of fun. Officials doing a great job as well. Shake hands, fellas. That was a nice performance.
When we come back, we'll give away our John Wayne Player of the Game. And we'll wrap it up here from Ferris Stadium. Churchill, the winner tonight, 19-0 in the Gucci Bowl, but we got more business to take care of when we come back.
Welcome to the Taco Cabana Thursday Night Lights postgame show, presented by John Wayne Service Company.
Welcome back to Ferris Stadium. It's the Chargers 19, Clark 0. The 10th straight win for Churchill in the Gucci Bowl. And let's send it down to Zach Hedrick, who's ready to hand out the hardware for our John Wayne Player of the Game. Zach?
Hey guys. So, 10 straight wins in the Gucci Bowl. How does that sound? These guys are excited to start off 1-0. Hey, where's number 11? Where's Gavin? Come on up here. Come on up here. Gavin, this is our Player of the Game award from John Wayne. Congratulations on a great game.
Thank you.
2 picks tonight. 2 picks. You were a ball hawk, and you also had that great hustle play down to the punt, down inside the 5. What does it say about your guys getting this win to start off tonight? 10 straight wins in the Gucci Bowl.
Man, it's an amazing feeling. It's a great way to start off the season, and we're just getting started. That's all I say.
Get started.
Yes, sir.
So I told you last week too. I hear that Coach Harris y'all are going down to Corpus Christi. How does this performance tonight get y'all ready for going into week 2?
Man, it's just to kickstart the season. It's just that mentality, trying to get ready for the season. It really sets the tone a lot higher. So that's basically it. So
this year, Gavin, we got a special addition to the Player of the Game award as well. I'm going to hang on to this because John Wayne's going to send you a special one too. You get this hat as well. They're going to throw your name and number on there on the back as well. So got to pass it around and share with your defensive unit. So Gavin Castro, your player of the game. Congrats, buddy. Going to bring in Coach Ron Harris, too. Coach, congratulations.
Thank you.
10 wins. You told me coming out of half that you survived the first half. You need to clean some things up in the second half. How'd it go in the second half?
Well, I'd say we got a little bit cleaner. You know, we still had some things that we weren't real good at. But like I said earlier, it is so much better to be making corrections off a win than it is having to wake up and go to school knowing that you did something to beat yourself. But we didn't do that. We persevered. We came out on top. A lot of kids stepped up, made plays when they had to, and it's a real testament to them and their coaches.
Coach Harris, it looks like you got your running game going a little bit more in the second half as well. What was clicking?
Well, it was just a matter of making a couple of adjustments in terms of what we were running against their scheme. And it was just the guys having the determination to stay on their blocks a little longer, making sure they stayed on their right paths, and ball carriers lowering their shoulders and finishing runs off.
I know you told me before the game that the 9-game streak doesn't matter. That's 9 different teams. But
right.
now you're at 10. I mean, that's got to feel pretty good.
It feels real good. Now we can talk about 10 in a row. Because this group is part of that 10 in a row. So they own part of it, and they're good, and they can talk about it all they want now.
So what are you looking forward to next week heading into another Friday game, Corpus Christi?
First thing, I'm glad we got the extra day of rest. We got some guys that are going to need some ice baths and some pickle juice and all that kind of stuff. But having that extra day will be huge. But we got a big challenge against a really good Corpus Christi Vets team next week.
And Coach, we didn't forget you too. We got some hardware for you guys, for you and your team here.
Appreciate it.
Congrats on 10 wins. Thank you.
Thank you.
Churchill Chargers, 19-0 victors. Guys, let's send it back up to you.
Thanks, Zach. Pickle juice and ice baths. Chuck, we know a little bit thing about that. We don't even play sports.
Well, you could tell the pickle juice, he was cracking that because he's probably not too thrilled that somebody cramped up during the game.
I know that just in the middle of the night with my calves. Hey, it's time for the Roselle Gardens collision of the game. We previewed him before the game. Big number 90, Eric Munoz.
Oh, yeah, finishing the job. Second-team performer, all-district performer last year, and Munoz had a couple of big licks on the quarterback tonight, but none better than that one. Our collision of the game.
That's our Roselle Gardens collision of the game. When we come back, we'll wrap it up with our play of the night. We'll run down our final stats, but a lot of smiling faces on that Churchill sideline. 19-0 Chargers over Clark. And welcome back. Churchill over Clark, 19-0 the final here at Ferris Stadium. As it's time to wrap up tonight's broadcast with our Holy Cross play of the night. Get it? Knights? Holy Cross? Knights? Michael Doty, the sophomore from Churchill, showing wheels going inside the 5-yard line. That set up a touchdown, and that is our Holy Cross play of the night.
Yeah, you know, we had very few explosive plays in this game. That obviously was one of them, and it set up the only touchdown of the evening. Well, except for the last one there at the end.
Yeah, that was kind of a giveaway. Churchill band still in the – look how disciplined they are. They're still in their seats waiting for the Chargers to get on the bus.
Put a few of those young kids on the smile cam, too.
Yeah, they're
enjoying
smiling.
the night.
They should be, right? Winners tonight. Hey, when we come back, we'll run down the highlights of the night, and we'll wrap it up here from Ferris Stadium right after this.
Line or 8, I think.
Welcome back. Time for our Mission Discount Water Softeners game highlights. Fun game tonight as Gavin Castro, our player of the game, started it off defensively with one pick there, and that wasn't the end of him tonight, for sure.
Oh, I'm telling you, he was making tackles, shucking blocks and making tackles, making plays on special teams, and then here's your big offensive explosive that set up the first touchdown.
Michael Doty inside the 5. That put the Chargers in business. He's just a sophomore. They've got a great future there in the running game. Tellus put the Chargers on the board, making it 7-0 with that run.
Yeah, tell us about those 6 points.
And then, this is Castro again, coming up with the pick, the second of the night. I got a feeling he may lead the city of San Antonio in interceptions in week one.
He's certainly off to a good start.
In the second half, Churchill again went in up 7-0.
And this was a chance right here, Don, for Clark to make a really big play. Instead, it's Churchill on the back end. As we said, that ball just had a little bit more mustard on it. You know, that totally tilts this ball game because then Clark at that point has to punt after not making the play. That leads to the safety, which then led to a field goal. And, you know, it's just so disheartening. The defense made play after play for Clark to keep them in this football game, but in the end, the Chargers with just way too many big plays, big stops, creating turnovers, and then they house it there at the end to make the final tally 19-zip.
Yep, that was Tellus. And Chuck, tell us about the statistics.
Well, you know, clearly Churchill had their hands on the ball so much tonight. Clark's inability to move the ball against that stout Charger defense. Yeah, the total yards reflective in that, obviously, but the rushing yards, you know, this is what Churchill wants to do. Ground and pound, and they want to control the clock, which you know they did tonight, and, you know, make some plays in the passing game when you have to. They did a really good job, for the most part, protecting the football, and, you know, just kind of one of those economical victories. You know, it wasn't really much of an offensive performance in that first half by Churchill, but, you know, they just kind of stayed after it, and they just wore them down and ended up with that 19-0 score. Again, can't say enough about the job the Churchill defense did tonight. Not easy throwing a shutout.
So we had, you know, the Cowboys on Fox and the Texans on 4 and CW35 tonight. You got TNL. Did I tell you that we just owned football in this market, our family of stations? Saturday, Ohio State kicks off their season. You got the Smart Bowl between Northwestern and Stanford. Sunday, you got the Cowboys and Bucks and the Texans and the Rams.
Yeah, replays of those games.
And next week we got Antonian. I'm looking forward to seeing this Devin Gray kid play against Sam Houston. Sam Houston in a good game tonight with Fredericksburg, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, a couple of our favorite coaches in the entire area, Melton Schultz and Van Fushak, so enjoyed looking forward to talking to those fellas this week.
All right, for Chuck Mickatinick, Mark Kusenberger up here on stat, Zach Edrick on the field, Chris Koppes in the booth, and for everybody who's been a part of this one, we'll see you next week on TNL.